With us now to discuss is Flor Hassan-Nahoum, former deputy mayor of Jerusalem. We want to thank you very much for joining us today. It's great to have you on the program.
Thank you.
All right, so we are awaiting the dignified transfer of the 6 U.S. service members killed in Kuwait. It's a big story for us today, as all eyes on that base, as U.S. forces are also fighting alongside Israel right now. As we take a beat here, what's your message to those families who are waiting to receive their loved ones' remains?
You know, Israel is a country of conscription, so all our children go to the army in this country. And unfortunately, over the last 2.5 years, we've had to bury many of our wonderful young men and women in a war that we didn't start or we didn't want. So in terms of empathy and sympathy, you're not going to find people who can empathize more with the American nation and its fallen heroes more than the Israeli nation, who have to bury our children also. Unfortunately, we have a situation here where the Islamic Republic of Iran is the biggest threat to humanity. It's already killed over 1,000 American soldiers, and it's already maimed many, many more. We know that they are also behind all the proxies that are creating mischief, not just in the Middle East, but across the world. And so this is a very difficult moment. We mourn for your fallen, as I know that you mourn for ours.
Yes. What have things been like where you are right now since this war began? I mean, we're in a week. Hard to believe that it was a week ago today. We were seeing those first interceptors with Robert Sherman on our air. What are things like where you are right now?
Well, you know, the week for us started last week with sirens that got us into shelters. And so this morning, unfortunately, again, we woke up with sirens that got us into shelters. But it seems like they're getting less. At least that's my feeling, that every day there's less sirens, which means that every day the US and Israel are weakening the Islamic Republic and their ability to throw missiles to Israel or Syria or Saudi Arabia or Kuwait, which killed those fallen heroes, and the UAE. So we know that in 1 week, and I'm pretty sure ahead of schedule, Israel and America has managed to really decapitate a lot of that, those missiles that they could throw our way and they could throw to American troops and to other allies in the region.
You know, just thinking about what you have been through, what your family and friends have been through in this last week, and hearing those sirens and what that must do to your central nervous system, you know, just kind of reliving it over and over again. What is the day-to-day like for you guys?
Well, the day-to-day has slowed down, as you can imagine. I don't get in my car to travel long distances because if a siren goes off as you're driving, the only defense you have is stopping your car, getting on the floor and putting your hands over your head. That's what we're told we have to do. So it's good to just keep and organize your work and your day-to-day around your home or the closest shelter that you can find. And so the country's slowed down in that sense. School was suspended this week. So the kids weren't in school, university, students weren't in university. And so, yes, it's that feeling of war, which, like I said, unfortunately, we know all too well, but we were getting used to getting back to normal life over the last few months since October when the hostages were returned from Gaza.
Right. You know, and we keep hearing about the timeline. How short is it going to be? How long is it going to be? The U.S. calling now for Iran to surrender, the regime pushing back, saying that is, quote, a dream that they should take to their grave. So when we talk about the timing, do you get a sense of how long this is going to go on?
I'm not sure about the timing, but I can tell you that nobody ever imagined, really, seriously, that in 1 week, they would have done as much as they've done. Now think about what they've done. They killed Ayatollah Khamenei, the most poisonous terrorist in the world, in the first hour, as President Trump said, the first hour of this conflict. But along with him, they killed all of the senior leadership of the rocket operations that they have. Last year, America and Israel got rid of all of their scientists for the nuclear program and all the people in charge of the nuclear program. But so far this week, they've also destroyed 60% of the rocket launchers. And so every single day, we're degrading their ability to attack us and other allies in the region. I would never have imagined that in a week they would have done as much as they've done. And so, there's always a price to pay. Israel lost 8 people in a rocket attack a few days ago, including 3-4 children. And again, these are the tragedies of war. And they are always targeting civilians. And America and the US are always targeting military infrastructure. And that's the difference.
Right. And real quick, before I let you go, we've been seeing strikes on the Gulf states and the neighboring countries. Are you concerned about this becoming a wider war? I mean, things are moving today, but that's been another big concern of people in your region.
Well, I don't seem to understand the logic behind the Islamic Republic trying to throw rockets everywhere. They even got to Azerbaijan. They sent one to Turkey. They've hit Europe with Cyprus and, of course, the other Gulf region. I think they want to create chaos. They want to create chaos enough so that the price of oil goes up. That's the only rationale I can think of, because otherwise they're just making more and more enemies, and more people are waking up to the fact that this is the main threat to our human civilization today.
All right. As we take a look at these images coming out of Iran today, it's really incredible. And we thank you very much for your time, Flor Hassan-Nahoum, former deputy mayor of Jerusalem. We thank you for your time and wish you and everybody safety and peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
And